download speed.
5 Mbps, right?
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad. Good, good. We'll not have a problem. Okay, can we start, Beta?
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
So basically, since your IT AS level includes all the functions that are there in your IDCC ICT, so you should have an idea of all these.
Okay.
Just for a recap, you do know what the basic functions like sum, average, count, max, min do. Yes or no?
Yes.
You do know what the functions do. Functions are built in. All you need to do is you just need to type in the syntax and you get the answer. Okay? What does count do?
Okay.
What does count do?
It counts the number of cells that are filled up.
That are not filled up. The number of cells that have numeric data within them. For example, if I fill this up with Saem, it still gives me 4. Are you
Okay.
following me? If I type over something else, okay? Sorry, just count
Mm-hmm.
it. I'll just make it count. So count giving me 2. Why is count giving me 2 from here till here? Why 2? Because count will count the number of cells that have numeric data within them, not the cells that are filled up.
Okay.
If you want to find out the cells that are filled up, you need to use count A, count all. Count A will tell me all the cells that have something within it. It's numeric, it's alphanumeric, it's alphabet, whatever.
Okay.
You get the point? So there's a
Yes.
difference you should know, right? And
Yes.
let's say you have one of the cell that is empty. There is nothing inside the cell. So for that you have something which is known as count blank. Count blank tells me that there is one cell in this range which is empty. Blank means a null value. There is nothing inside the cell.
Okay.
You get the point?
Yes.
Okay? You know the best way to practice your lecture, I always tell this to my students, is that you try to revise the points after my lecture. Today what I did was I learned the following functions with Mr. Saem, and the following functions
Mm-hmm.
did the following thing. If you want to retain them more, you can even make your notes, your practical notes. Today's lecture, this is
Okay.
what we learned. Today's lecture, this is what we
Mm-hmm.
learned. If you try to note down your things, if you try to remind yourself again and again, believe me, you will not forget it. The moment we forget things and we don't try to revise them, this is where the problem is created. Are you getting my point? Okay?
Yes.
So you have to make a practice. Every time, a class with me, please revise the points. Don't have to do it even when you're sitting idle somewhere doing nothing. Just run it in your brain and just think over it. So I have discussed with
Yes.
you is counts the number of cells that have number. Count A counts everything, all the data
Mm-hmm.
within cells, and count blank will count cells that are empty, right?
Yes.
Okay. One important thing over here to note is that if I add a space over here, and if I use over here
Mm-hmm.
is count, right? Sorry,
Yes.
if I use over here is count A, it gives me 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know why? This is not a null value. It has a space. If I delete the space, and if I check it gives me 4. Count A gives me
Okay.
4. Because a null value is a null value, empty. But a space is a character. You get the point.
Yes.
Now, these are those tiny, tiny points that at times the examiner will try to confuse you with. You get the
Okay.
point?
Yes.
Okay? Obviously you have not have you solved any past paper? Do you have a look any past paper?
Yes, I did solve the May June one,
Mm-hmm.
2018 that just came out recently.
And how did you find it?
I found it. It was fine. It was not hard.
It was
It was
Excel, right?
okay. Yeah, it was right. But there was this other question about the putting the telephone number in the form of dashes, something like that.
Okay, I'll solve it with you. I will solve it with you. So at least you have an idea what we're doing. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Once we're done with the course, we will solve the papers. So then you have is max, and then you have is min, right? The maximum value and
Yes.
the minimum value. So maximum means the tallest, the highest, the largest. The minimum means the smallest, the shortest. You get the point, right? Okay.
Yes.
Let's get back. Then you have is your if and nested if. If simply means if there's a condition which is true, do this, otherwise do this. This is your if function. Okay? If you
Yes.
know it, please tell me so that I don't waste time explaining you. If you don't know, I can explain you further. You have an idea what if is?
Yeah, I know that if function and nested if.
Okay, great. So I can come. That's good. Do you have an idea of lookup, VLOOKUP?
Yeah, but I get confused that when do we use lookup itself?
You don't
And
have to use lookup. You'll use VLOOKUP. You don't have to
okay.
use it. Okay, I'll explain you. Your lookup will
No,
always.
actually, yesterday I was doing that 2010 May June,
Uh-huh.
so they used lookup function in that.
It's not important. You can use VLOOKUP. It's not important to use lookup all the time. What?
Okay.
What? One second, beta. Can you pause it? Yes, Polo. One second. Yes, Polo. The top ceiling as well? The ceiling. And the roof. Tell him to do the roof. I'm just coming. Go. The roof. That's how you put. Tell him to come as have to come. Okay, sorry, beta. I'll explain you. Basically, you can use VLOOKUP. There's no point of using lookup because lookup gives you the approximate match. VLOOKUP gives you the exact match and the approximate match.
Okay.
You get the point. Do you
Yes.
do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Listen. If I replicate this and if I make this absolute by hitting F4, okay, by hitting F4 I make it absolute. Do you see over here why am I getting NA? Can you give me the answer? This is my lookup table. What I'm trying to do is I'll explain you. I'm trying to find A in ICT is how much? A in ICT is 90. Okay. So what I do is
Yes.
first of all what I have is a lookup value. This is my lookup value. Table array, that's my array from here till here. Column index number
Mm-hmm.
is 3, which is 1, 2, 3 for ICT, and 0 basically means
Yes.
the your um, uh, approximate match. Sorry, the exact match. So it says
So,
for exact match, it says over here R is NA because there is no R over here, so it gives me NA.
yes.
So if I use over here instead of और नहीं करेंगे बाद में enter. Now if I replicate this, in case of R, I'm getting 45 because this is my approximate match.
Okay.
Why? Because it says give me an approximate value. Give me an approximate value.
Yes.
So if you use
Mm-hmm.
instead of this simple lookup, it will give you the same answer as using 0. It's the same thing. I'll show you over here.
Okay.
I'll use is equals to lookup. Lookup says give me the lookup value, same thing. It says give me the lookup vector. This is my lookup vector. I'll press F4, comma, resultant vector. That's my resultant vector. Press F4, and that's it. Enter. Now if I replicate this, okay, this is what I get. What am I getting? In over here, if I type over here is 1, and
Approximate matches.
what do I get? I get the same answer. There is no difference. Your VLOOKUP
Yes.
does both things. VLOOKUP gives you the answer in approximate match and in exact match. Okay, but lookup doesn't do that. So you can use VLOOKUP in every circumstances.
Okay.
You get the point,
Yes.
right? And then you have is HLOOKUP. Do you know what HLOOKUP is?
Yeah, it's horizontal. When the data is horizontally.
Exactly. Do you know how to make it horizontal? So
Yeah, I think you left click and paste special
very good, very good, very good.
something.
That's very good. Okay. Let me explain you. Do you know SUMIF?
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
I have an idea.
you have an idea.
When there's a condition we use like,
Very yes, yes, right. And or and not. Let me explain this with you. Probably you don't have an idea of this. Okay. Do you know what and
yes.
there are two functions. You have the and function, and what I'll do is I will say b2 is equals to blue. I'll replicate this now. Now you'll see over here. I will just first try to explain you this. Here you go. See what's happening. Have a look at this and tell me what's happening.
Mm,
Study this sheet and tell me what's happening.
okay, it's and is used when if A2 and B2 is both are blue, then it should say true,
Yes,
and if they are not blue, then it presents false.
absolutely correct. So AND is a function that gives you an output
Mm-hmm.
of true or false. In the same
Okay.
manner, you have another function OR that basically does the same thing. It will give you the answer in true and false. True
Okay.
if either of this is blue. So you'll see I get less false because uh, in this case both are not blue. Both are not blue. So and means
Mm-hmm.
both, did like you told me, or means when either of them. Is it clear?
Okay.
Right? So
Yes.
what I'm trying to explain over here is this fact. The if function now has a condition, and this condition says that if in your both boxes you have blue, display my color, otherwise
Mm-hmm.
display no color. So I use an if condition and I use and within and I have this. So that's my true and that's my false,
Okay.
depending upon whether this is true or whether this is false. Please have a
Okay.
look again and tell me did you get it or not.
I got it.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I will now just change the question a bit. I'll make it a bit more complicated. I have red, I have red, and a blue. Now my question says over here is that I want my color to be displayed if the both boxes contain either both blue or either both red. Did you get my question?
Mm-hmm.
My color should be displayed
Yes.
when both boxes the color is either blue or it's either red. Otherwise, if they're neither both of them are red, neither both of them are blue, display me no color. So
Okay.
can you just think over it?
So you do if.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you can do if open brackets or
Hmm.
A2 is equals to blue, comma, B2 is equals to red,
Hmm.
and close the bracket, comma,
Hmm.
my color, and if not, no color.
You are very close. So good. What I'll do is a bit of difference, but you are very close. That's very good. What I'll do is, if or, that's my first statement, comma,
Yes.
and my second statement is not blue, it's red. My second statement is not blue, it's red. And I need to close the two brackets. So this is how I've constructed it. Let's see. Let's do visual verification. So both blue, my color, correct? No.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? Correct? No. Correct? No, no. It's working. How is it working? Look at this. Or. Now or has inside what? Or has which logical? Or says this. Or says what? Or says and A2 is blue, B2 is blue. If this statement is
Mm-hmm.
true or this statement is true. If any one of this statement is true, it will display my color. If this statement is not true and if this statement is not true, it will give me no color. Is it not
Okay.
interesting? This could be a complex question that could come, a bit complex question I would say, that you should be aware of. Please study it,
Okay.
have a look, and make sure did you get it 100%.
So this A2 is equals to blue and the other A2 is equals to blue. These two are two logical tests.
Yes, this is a logical test. Uh, I have to separate them between an or. I have to use or because my question says when either this statement is true, comma, or this statement is true. So my or will check if is this true or this is true. So it will tell me yes or no. If it's true, if the output of this is true, if the output of this is true, it will give my color. Otherwise, display me no color. Is it clear?
Yes.
Got it? So you see,
Yes.
this is again one way your if function can be used with the or and the and function, an elaborated version. It's important. It's important, very important for P2 because in P2 these functions are very commonly asked.
Okay.
Okay. Since I'm recording the lecture, even if you don't get it, you can watch the video again. I'll send it to you, and then you can have a look again.
Okay.
Then we have this conditional counting that you should be aware of. Okay, conditional counting means that I want to count how many cells have points which are greater than 1450. You know what COUNTIF is? You know, yes, COUNTIF.
Yes.
So my COUNTIF says give me the range. I give the range, and my question says I want
Mm-hmm.
to count all those numbers that are greater than 1450. So I use greater than 1450, and I get this. Any problem?
No.
The only thing you need to remember, you have to put it in double quotes because if you don't use the double quotes, it will give you an error. It will not work. the,
Okay.
the quotation marks have to be used. My second one is
Okay.
my second one is I want to find out all the names that start with A. I want to
Mm-hmm.
find all the names that start with A. So we will use the wildcard, the star, A star. So from A2 till A11, I want to find out all that start with A. It's A star. It tells me 4. You know what star represents? Star represents all.
Yeah. And many numbers of characters.
Very good. Good. So that's how it works. So if I want to find all those names that end with T, what will I do?
Star T.
Star T. You know what, Zainab? You are intelligent. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. You are intelligent. Okay, it will not be a big problem to finish the course with you. Just first few minutes, you scared me. I was thinking, oh my God, how will I finish the course when you've not done anything? Okay, but you will do well. Don't be overconfident. Don't be overconfident. Okay. We need to prepare a lot.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then we have is count if. You know, we've done this. Do you know what count ifs are?
Maybe when there are more than two or more than one function, more than
Exactly.
one
It's pretty easy.
what's that?
See,
Yeah.
I have a criteria range one, which is this one, and then I
Yes.
have the criteria which is female. I want to find out all those females that scored more than 60%. So here we go. Okay. So female, then comma, I have to give another criteria which is this one and greater than 60. So I get is it counts and tells me that there are four records that have female who scored more than 60%. And I always use this example as well to explain, elaborate more. And we're talking about English as well. So I can have as many
Yes.
criteria as I want to within the count if. I have to mention the range, the criteria, the range, the criteria, and the range, the criteria. So to look at every range and the criteria and count and tell me how many records do I have that fulfill the requirement.
Okay.
Please have a look. Is it clear? Okay?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, right? Because if you do the same thing with count if and use if function, it will become complicated. So remember, you do have a function known as count ifs.
Yes.
Okay? Remember, you have a function known as count ifs. We have discussed about count a. We have discussed about count blank, right or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know mid, right, left?
Yes.
Can tell me?
And mid it counts like
Hmm.
it gives you the value in the middle. If you put mid A2 and then you put the starting number, then you put the how many letters you want.
Mm-hmm.
And right it counts a number.
Very good.
It tells you that.
Yeah, it tells you the numeric position of the character. Okay, and after telling you, it extracts it. We basically call these the splitting string function because look over here, we have webtronics. We call this a string. If I want to split it, I can split it through mid, right, left. So we call this the splitting string function. Remember the name, okay?
Okay.
Right. So and same way if we can split a string, we can even join it using concatenate. You must be knowing about that as well. The concatenate.
Yes.
Exactly. Then you have the exact function. Exact function is pretty important. Exact function says, tell me the first text you're talking about. I say Saem. And tell me what you're trying to compare it with. I say I write Saem over here with S capital. See S is small over here and see S is capital over here. It says
Yes.
false. So if I change S over here from capital to small, it says true because this and this are exactly the same. Now you might be wondering, it's
Okay.
such a basic function, why is it important? In our next lecture, you will realize it, why is it important? Because we will use it with nested functions, some other function,
Okay.
right? So some of these
Yes.
small functions are really important. The issue is that in CI exam, we don't have the time that we use Excel help facility and start searching. We don't have the time. You should know all the functions, you should know how to nest them and give the answer. Okay? That's
Yes.
the way we do it. Okay. I'll just discuss one more function with you and I'll stop because we just had an intro class today. Okay. Let me see. I want to discuss an important function with you today. Do you know index and match?
No.
Let me discuss this function with you, then I can stop. It's really important. You know what HLOOKUP is and you know what VLOOKUP is. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, the problem with VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP is VLOOKUP searches data vertically, HLOOKUP searches data horizontally.
Yes.
Yes. So, I need a function that can help me search data both ways. For example, one more thing. In VLOOKUP, I have one lookup value. In HLOOKUP, I also have one lookup value. But in case of index and match, since I'm talking about two-dimensional array, I will have two lookup values. So the question might say, Enter week 2 and January and tell me what the answer is. Week 2 January, I get this. Good. If I enter over here week 2 and let me say I enter over here is August, it gives me 126 because week 2 and August is 126. Can you see that? It compares this way and it compares
Yes.
this way and tells me what the answer is. So I enter something here and something here and gives me the answer. How is it working? Well, there is a function known as index that says give me the array, give me the range. Okay. Then it says give me the row number, give me the row number, and then give me the column number. But it's not that easy. I can't simply write over here is 8 comma 7. No. Every time I can't do it manually. Then I'm doing it manually. There should be a way that it should find out that August over here is in which location and week 2 over here is in which location. Are you following me? There has to be a function, there has to be a way that will tell me the numeric position of week 2 in this range and the numeric position of August in this range. You get the point? For that,
Yes.
we have a function which is known as a match. Your match function basically says that tell me which value, lookup value you're trying to find the match for and the numeric position for. I say week 2, comma. Tell me where is this week two's range? This is the range. Do you want an exact match? Yes, I do. I'll type 0. It says 2. It tells me week 2 has a numeric position over here as 2. In the same way,
Oh,
in the same way, I have this. It says you're trying to find what? I'm trying to find August, okay, right? You're trying to find August from where? I'm trying to find August from here. And you want exact match? Yes, I do. It says your August is in the 8th location in this range. Here we go. Now all we have to do is implement this over here in index. Now all I do is I provide is the array, comma. It says give me the row number, no problem. For the row number I use match, okay. And for the row number I use match. This is my row, this is my row. So where's my lookup value for the row? That's my lookup value for the row. Where is the array? That's my array, comma 0. Then it says comma, give me the column number. Column number I use match again. So it says tell me the lookup value for your column. That's this one, week 2. Tell me the array. That's the array. And then it says give me the exact match. And here we go. So if I change this from week 2 to let's say week 4, I get 489 because August and week 4 is 489. This is your two-dimensional searching of data using index and match. Is it clear?
yes.
Are you sure?
It's a bit clear. I have to practice
Yeah,
this.
it's really important. It's really. I will share this Excel file with you right now in Skype, and in few hours I'll compile this video, and I will send you the video link as well. Okay,
Okay.
right? Okay. Till then,
Yes.
we will. Let me just. Sorry. Let me just.